Mate, you tried this earlier and you failed.
Yeah, we're not going through this again.
Yeah,
Cain,
try
give it up,
something
mate.
more. Yeah.
Aristophanes will work on a flat surface. It just depends on the height of the light source to how long your shadow length will be. There is a position where it will match the globe shadow lengths. Taking multiple positions is irrelevant because we're seeing the sun in an apparent location based on the distance from where you are as the observer from the sun. So we're not going through this again. I'm more interested to know Crips' story. So, Crypt, I guess you've recently been researching this topic. Is that right?
Well, I went over this a little bit with some of the guys earlier, but I've kind of been into it since like 2021 or so, but I just kind of shelved it because cognitive dissonance and stuff. And every time I brought it up, I was turned into a black sheep. But then, in like the last year, I got into. I don't know if you guys get into that like Tartaria shit at all, but I started getting into that shit. I thought that was pretty neat. And somehow that just kind of looped me back into flat Earth stuff. And I was like, yeah, there's still no fucking debunks for this. What the hell is going on, no one can actually explain it, so...
Yeah, flat Earth's one of them subjects where if you go deep enough into a lot of different subjects, you'll find flat Earth comes up a lot. It's just one of those subjects, and I think what's important about flat Earth, I think, is that you actually need to use your critical thinking, and you need to be more empirical about your approach to things. So you get a lot of flat Earthers in a lot of other deep subjects. Yeah.
Right.
So where do you stand then on the whole the whole idea that the majority of people believe it's a bull? Everybody will scream at you and say, oh no, it's a bull, how could you say it's flat? I mean, are you over that, or is that still something that you struggle with?
I mean, honestly, like, to a degree, I don't just like bring it up a fuck ton, but at the same time, I've kind of like I was homeschooled for a while, so I've kind of always had like a degree of social outcastery, so it's not that bad to me, like, to accept this. Like, I don't feel like it's like, oh, I'm not gonna, be with the group anymore. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me at all. So that's pretty chill. I don't know. I don't bring it up to a lot of people outside of like my girlfriend, who's also into it. Sometimes I'll tiptoe around it with people. Like, I like to, jab at the moon landing because that's like the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion. But I don't know. I'm mostly pretty like private about it because I haven't had good experiences trying to express it to people. But at the same time, I'm not bothered by, being an individual or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think that's the biggest hurdle, to be honest. Most people's arguments for the globe usually are appeals to authority, appeals to majority, appeals to, all sorts of fallacious reasoning. And if you're not hung up by that stuff, it makes it a hell of a lot easier, right? To understand everything. Yeah. Yeah. So I probably wouldn't suggest bringing it up to that many people anyway, just because why do you need to, right? This should be for yourself and your own understanding, I think. I mean, if you start going around telling people, taking their ball away from them, I don't know if you were a kid, but if you did that at the park, it doesn't make you very popular, right?
Right. I mean, that's the same with like any, conspiracy or any, truth, honestly. A lot of these people won't go against the grain or the widely accepted narrative, regardless of what it is, especially if it's the shape of the freaking land they're on. That really throws everything into question.
Yeah. Well, most people, their first response is, everybody knows it's a ball. Then they go through, okay, well, somebody must have some direct evidence for curvature or motion. And then they realize that they'll be like, oh, well, this is just because the Earth's really big, and we have the math. So then they'll appeal to the model. But then when you dig into the model, you figure out their model doesn't work. So then they're left with nothing. You know,
I like when they say Eratosthenes and 2 sticks proves it. That's my favorite.
Yeah, we just had Cain who says, "Look, if you add more sticks, it proves it." You know, but
more sticks.
yeah. The problem is a lot of these guys don't understand or take into account perspective properly. So, you know, where the sun is located in the sky is based on your observer's position, not the actual position of the sun. So then you get a whole bunch of people with half of the story, you know, not really understanding perspective, and then trying to take measurements of shadow angles, you know, not fully understanding how the sun drops on your horizon at distance, what you would expect to see. They're just like, look, it matches a ball. Well, no, unfortunately, that matches perspective also. So this is not exclusive to a ball.
Can you, I think I understand what you're saying, but can you explain that to me, how like the sun appears different based on our perspective? I'm not sure I fully grasp that.
Yeah, so it's about perspective and depth perception. So everything will drop into the horizon, whether below or above the horizon. In distance, things will just merge with the horizon. They call it the vanishing point. So everything merges into the vanishing point over distance. So when you look out into the ocean, you'll see stars on your horizon. It's not that the stars are below eye level, or at eye level. It's that basically in the distance, everything converges due to angular.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the angular resolution. So that's what we would expect. Especially some globers will talk about that sort of 69. 1 degree drop every 69 miles. This is consistent with perspective over long distances as well on a flat Earth. You know, we would expect things to sort of disappear and stars to drop on your horizon in the distance. So it's quite funny because they don't teach perspective in school properly. Maybe in art class they do, but nobody really understands this is not a unique observation to a curved ball. This is what we would expect.
The learning about the perspective thing made me feel really stupid, and it blew my mind at the same time. I was like, wow, I did not know my eyes worked like this at all. Like, there's a point in which you cannot see past. Crazy. It's like, how did I not like think about that before? Like someone was like, you're not fucking Superman, man. You can't just see for infinite distance. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's true.
Right, yeah. And not to mention on top of that, you know, you've got the atmosphere. The thickness of the atmosphere giving you the visibility of the day affects how far you can see. So if the visibility is low, then you won't see things merge at the vanishing point. You'll see things disappear before that due to sort of the thickness of the atmosphere. And then if you've got sort of the temperature gradient sort of giving you that lensing effect in the atmosphere, things then seem disproportionate to what you would expect. So some globers will say, oh, well, things, you know, they can't be disappearing due to angular size because look at this image. The sun looks really big at the horizon. It's like, well, yeah, it's a lensing effect. It's something that can happen because the atmosphere has so much water in it. And on certain humidity days, you can get this lensing effect where it's called atmospheric magnification, where things appear bigger in the distance than they should be. So it can get really confusing. You know, there's lots at play when it comes to perspective across the Earth. But yeah, like you really need to sit down and try and understand these things, and then you can literally start accounting for, you know, pretty much every observation we see. It's quite a minefield when you're, you know, fighting with globers as well at the same time.
Oh yeah, you gotta, you know, deal with your own psychology while battling everyone else if you're talking about, or if you're, you know, researching it even, like, you know, because the algorithms in the internet aren't gonna necessarily give you the right answers or whatever.
Yeah, it can get really technical. So if you're not really technically minded, it takes a little bit. Myself, it took me probably 3 or 4 years before I fully understood some of the observations. I was looking at like the you know, super looming, different types of refraction, the Fata Morgana, you know, these things that just don't seem to make any logical sense are easily accounted for when you understand how the atmosphere operates and can act like a lens in the distance. You know, you're going through different temperature gradients as well. So it's a bit confusing, but that's the ultimate conclusion comes down to the fact that most, you know, things that we see, there's nothing unique to a ball when it comes to the atmosphere, the sky, the stars. You know, we had the stars mapped on a geocentric and flat Earth cosmology for the entire history of mankind. You know, it's only the last 100 years or so, couple of 100 years, that we've switched to this model.
Right.
You know, people try to pretend the Greeks were globers. No, they had if you look at the cosmology of the Greeks, they were flat earthers as well.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, like somebody said it last night. It's like, they've been running this psyop for 2,000 years. It's crazy. It's like, when you put it like that, man, it's pretty wild. It runs really deep.
Yeah, it really does. And let's face it, who cares about the shape of the ground, right? That's not the crazy part to it. The crazy part to it is how we can be fooled and duped and completely let go of logical and critical thinking. And they've done it to us. You know, they've got us in a place now where we fight amongst ourselves over stuff we have no evidence or proof for. Now people think time and space is bending between objects of mass on a horizontal plane when we have absolutely no evidence of that. You know, people afraid of aliens, black holes, comets. You know what I mean? It's just amazing the amount of fear based around this one lie.
I know, it's crazy. Like once you realize that shit, it really just removes a lot of those fears from your life, which is cool. I like that a lot. You know, that's a big win for me. But shit.
Yeah, not to mention the idea that we are swamp goo evolved through random expansion, and that we're on the edge of the universe with no significance to ourselves whatsoever. I think it also has a profound effect on your philosophy as well.
Oh yeah, it makes you feel a hell of a lot more significant than, like, you know, on a ball in an infinite galaxy in a multiverse of infinite multiverses and all that bullshit.
Right. I've heard justifications for horrible things. Well, why does it matter? You know, we're just animals, this, that, the other, when in reality there's, you know, no evidence that we are evolved from monkeys or fish or wherever that you want to start the clock. And there's, you know, all the evidence you could ever imagine for us being the center of whatever this place is. And I think that could change people's outlook on their own lives. You know, I think it's really important to highlight these are the important things that come from flat Earth, not the shape of the surface.
No, 100%. It's like, if this is the only world or the only existence, I feel like it makes you give a fuck a lot more. You know, you care about it a lot more.
Right. I'd probably say the most significant thing that I realized was that this place must have been created, you know, in order to have what we have here, with the fingerprint of you know, the hallmark of the Fibonacci sequence all over this place, and see it in the stars, see it in the land, see it in the terra firma. You know, I think to have a gas pressure as well, we must be under some sort of containment. And I think when you put it together, it makes you realize, wow, you know, this place was created, and it's very significant. Whatever it is, it's not on the edge of nothing. I mean, the globers make so many assumptions that, oh, this is the same as things we see in the sky, yet we have absolutely no evidence of life and other planets, you know, anything like what we are.
Right. No, yeah, the idea that, you know, oh, there's a creator is like so cool. Because, like, when I was young, my youngest memories are me going to like church with my family and whatnot. And then I started going to high school, and it was like, oh yeah, that's just Santa Claus or whatever, it's garbage. Doesn't really add up. And then, man, I started getting this flat earth shit, and I was like very much an agnostic, kind of person or whatever. And I wasn't like looking for creation or looking for God or anything like that. But the more I got into flat earth, they're like, this, I cannot debunk this. And it's just like, holy shit, maybe there is something to all this. And that it does really put things into perspective, and it does humble you and make you like care and value things a lot more, which is really cool.
Yeah, hopefully the best thing to come out of it is that you're willing to now go against, which I think you already were, go against the appeal to the majority and the authority, and actually ask for evidence. I think there's plenty of Globers who come in here and they make claims, and we say, well, okay, what's your evidence for that? And they get angry. We've been coded to get upset at people who ask for evidence for a claim. I think that's really crazy where we've got to now.
That's insane.
So what does your girlfriend make about Flat Earth then? What's her thoughts?
So I kind of like I said, I kind of got into it like about 4 years ago a little bit, and I showed her some of the stuff. She's like, I mean, it doesn't really add up to me, but it's just videos on the internet, so I don't even know if that's, meaningful. So I kind of shelved that for a while. But then in the last like month or two, I've been showing her, like I showed her, what is it called? It's not the Flat Out Truth, but one of those documentaries, one of the first. I can't remember what it's called. Or Level With Me, is that what it's called? Yeah. I showed her a couple of those, and or like I showed her the shit with like the Challenger victims, quote unquote, or just moon landing stuff. And she's like, none of this makes any sense. Or I explained the perspective thing to her, and like she was like, oh, that's interesting, So it's been pretty good, honestly. Like, I mean, she's definitely not hardcore into it. She also, I don't think she like, somebody said something about this a minute ago, but like, I don't think she cares about it near as much as I do. Like, it doesn't affect her in the same way, Like, she's still got priorities that are the same regardless of the shape of the planet, which is totally fine,
As we all do, yeah.
Right.
We all do. I mean, I think it becomes obsessive at the beginning when you're in that cognitive dissonance state, and you're like, oh my God, this changes everything. But when it comes down to it, you still have to work. The only thing it changes really is it really, to me, the only thing it changes is the way that you think, the way you question, the way your mind works. And I think that's a positive thing. I think regardless of whether you end up a flat earther or whether you end up saying, no, I'm going to stick with the model and my ball, I think at least now you've been exposed to the fact that half of what you believed and were taught isn't evidenceable, probably isn't true. Even if you remain a baller, we get plenty of ballers in here who admit, you know what, you're right, we don't have any direct evidence, but I believe the model. And I can accept that, that's fair enough. But at least you've admitted that it's a faith-based position, and I think that's what's important, being able to discern the difference between knowledge and belief.
Oh, that is the craziest part, man. When you realize, like, that's what really messed me up. When I realized, like, what I thought I knew, I didn't know, and it actually was just a belief based on what other people were saying, and that really fucked me up, man. I was like, damn, they got me. Like, why did I believe this? Like, it wasn't a thing that was ever based in fact or empirical evidence or anything. Like, I never tested this. I've never seen it be tested. Oh, it's so frustrating because you feel like, I don't know, it made me feel like kind of an idiot. It's like, oh, they got me.
Yeah, they want you to believe there's nothing new to be researched. There's nothing new to be discovered. We've seen all the land. We've mapped it. We know it's a ball. They even try to convince you they know what's happening billions and squillions of miles away. It gives you this sense of not hopelessness. I don't think that's the right word, but like it really shoots down the ambitious people and the explorer in you, right? And that's what they want. They don't want you to be an explorer, into discovery.
100%, dude. I got a question. I don't know if this is like a hot topic or anything. If this isn't something we talk about here, just shut me up or whatever. But do you guys get any like the fucking dinosaur shit or the oil shit? Is that something that's talked about here?
Yeah, we talk about that occasionally. Yeah, it's a similar story with the globe, with some other subjects. It's a belief system. You've got to believe that any giant bones that have been found are from a reptilian race that became extinct due to a comet, and that we evolved really from that, with birds coming out of that. And I think the problem you've got is there is no evidence of natural selection, evolution, and there isn't even evidence of simplicity in the single-celled organisms, so-called single-celled organisms. The beautiful thing about this world is that the more you dig in, the more complexity you find, and their whole theory breaks down when you start really trying to ask the questions. Well, where is the missing links? Where is this? How are you basing your claims of simplicity when the complexity in these so-called single-celled organisms mirror and match what we have in the so-called complex organisms? So but what makes it confusing is there is like epigenetics, if you know what that is. So there is adaptation. There is changes that can happen.
Yes, I totally believe that. That makes sense to me. I mean, I feel like I've seen evidence of that.
Right. Yeah. But what you'll find is there's no changes to the structure of the DNA. Right.
Right.
A cat will always be a cat, whether it changes color and size and shape. It will always be a cat. Same with the human. We adapt and change, but we'll never evolve into something else. And that's interesting that people take evolution as a given, when in reality it's a theory that's so broken that even the mainstream is sort of shying away now from that, and most of the funding is in epigenetics now. So I find it hard to believe people still believe it, to be honest.
Oh, it's crazy. Like they say they're like, the reason we have fake dinosaur bones out is because the real ones have so much radiation from the meteors, and then like people live in Nagasaki. It's like, all right.
I know, it's ridiculous. I mean, I saw videos on YouTube years and years ago. I don't know if they're still around, but paleontologists basically admitting they've never seen a real dinosaur bone. We only get to deal with replicas. I remember looking into some of the dinosaurs that were put forth in the early days that just turned out to be complete hoaxes. It was like they were, it was free game. I want a dinosaur. I want to name a dinosaur. So let's put the bones together in this way and see if we can get away with it being a species of dinosaur. But there's so many hoaxes and, fake like dinosaurs.
It's like trying to win a contract from the government. It's like, well, if I come up with this, maybe they'll give me money.
Right. It's hilarious. Some of them, though, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, how did that even become a thing? And rightly so, they get shunned and debunked and pushed to the side. But yeah, we've still got, some of these sticking around, and there's so many holes in the logic of the dinosaurs and, how they lived, how they mated, how, it's just, I don't know, it's just a folk story. It's like Star Wars.
Yeah, I've seen some people say, and I can't really speak to this, but they say like the if you tried to engineer a brontosaurus, its stomach would fall out. Like the physics of some of them don't make sense. I can't really speak to that, but some people say that like these creatures wouldn't work the way that we've built them.
Yeah, they put them together. I mean, they found giant bones. That no one denies that they found giant bones.
Right?
It's not the issue. The issue is the claim, the story. Behind all of that is nonsense.
It's tough because, like I was saying, I got my girlfriend who's getting into this flat Earth ship. She really likes dinosaurs. So the dinosaur thing is tough.
I'm sure she does.
I just fucking love dinosaurs, bro.
Yeah, it's a good story, isn't it? It's a good story. It adds time and adds all this mystery into these billions of years that they want to convince you happened. So they need something to exist in that time, something to place on the on the scale before us. And that's how they've presented it. Some way to account for the giant bones that they find. It's like it throws you off what the possibilities of what they could be and connected to. Everything's a distraction in mainstream, unfortunately.
Totally, dude. Dude, I mean, fuck, dude. If Disney, wasn't still trying to brainwash people, I'd probably still be watching those movies, man. But every one of those movies is obviously just some kind of propaganda. Everything is a distraction. Kind of sucks though, because like I'm so in the flat Earth thing, and like I can't even enjoy some of the movies I used to enjoy. Which is tough.
Yeah, I went through that for a while. I was like, I don't want to watch any of this space crap anymore. But then I don't know. I suppose I just got to a point where I'm like, well, I can watch fantasy. It's just fantasy now.
Right?
It's not that big a deal. But I treat NASA, NASA's fantasy. I think the purpose for it is to breathe life into the lie. Because when you really think about it, there's no experience of space. There's no experience. We're not getting comets come down, hit the Earth, make the news, and bring things into question, reminding us that space is a thing. We need NASA. We need NASA launches and so-called satellite launches to keep breathing life into this lie.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you said something about this. You said it earlier, but like they just keep every 2 to 3 years we're gonna get hit by a meteor, and then we don't. It's like, all right, dude. Like, when are we gonna get hit by this meteor? When are one of those meteors gonna come down, bro?
Oh, another close miss. Phew, aren't we lucky? We should definitely put more funding into this, into being able to stop, these things in the future. Give us your money.
For me, was like sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna
quick. For me, one of the biggest things is people. Like, I can't talk to just NPCs. They look at you and they're like dead inside. I've lost so many friends that I can't relate with anymore. I just thought I'd throw that in.
No, I'm on that same path, bro. It's like I'll see somebody talking about like whatever political thing is going on in the news or whatever the latest sports or media thing is, and I'm like, it's like hard for me to genuinely engage, because I feel like it's not genuine.
Yeah, I went through that too, and I kind of wished I'd kept them separate from my own journey of discovery, because you grow, you change, but I think this happens regardless of how deep you go. I think you start to grow apart and go in different directions to your friends, and I think if I'd have had this wisdom that I do now, then I would have definitely compartmentalized friends and have friends that I talk to about sport and film and TV, and then friends that I have for deeper conversations. And yeah, that's probably what I would have done differently, because once you have a few conversations that are abrasive or where you realize you're on completely different ends of the spectrum, like politics, for example, I would never have spoken about politics growing up. You start to realize that there are certain things are irreversible, when you have a back and forth with old friends. And yeah, I wish I'd have kept that separate. But the beauty is you meet new friends and you make new, acquaintances who are more on your level. And I think you need to make space in your life for those people. You can't keep hold of all your friends. You only have so much time for them, right?
Right. Yeah, I definitely struggled with that a little bit myself, for sure.
But remember, you're growing, right? You're changing. Some friends will stay stagnant. I remember the last time I met up with all my friends together, and everyone was talking about Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, and I was like, wow, we were talking about this when we were 17, guys. Like, we're mid-30s now. Like, nothing's changed. I think moments like that, you get that closure where you realize, look, it was going to happen either way. I've changed. I would have changed anyway.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like if it wasn't this, you would have probably grown in some other way anyway. It's weird
Right,
though, because
that's
I
it.
have like people that I used to like look up to, and people I'd go to for advice, or people I would even consider like smarter than me, and now it's like I can't even have what I think of as like a rational conversation with them about this stuff, which is, I guess I get it, but it's odd.
Yeah, not everybody's a truth seeker. That's the one thing I learned. Not everybody's on the same page when it comes to that. Let the truth lead you. And the political types, the ones who like to talk about politics and pick a side, that's a red flag when it comes to truth seeking, in my opinion.
Yeah, you've already got your mind made up. How are you going to seek the truth?
They can't handle the truth.
No, that's fucking it.
Question all things. That was what I was taught when I was young. That probably had a lot to do with it. Question all things.
Yeah. Like one of my number one pieces of advice was you don't know what you don't know.
And on the reverse, you know what you know, and nothing can change that, right?
All right.
We know there's no curvature. We know that the axial rotation can never be detected. And we know that you can't have gas pressure and a PSI you can't have that gas pressure without containment. So there's things you can know. You know that enough heat will boil water. Nothing can change that, right?
Right. Yeah, the gas thing is crazy, man. The whole spinning ball and then the gravity and the atmosphere keeping everything in just is so goofy once you get into it. It's like this holds down water, but it doesn't hold down helium, but it also keeps all the gases here. Like, what?
Yeah. I had a really funny conversation with a glober who was adamant that the ozone layer was the container. And I was like, what's the ozone layer? And he was like, you know, the ozone layer. We were all taught about the ozone layer. It keeps the protection from the sun's rays, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's containing the gas. And I was like, well, isn't there a hole in the ozone layer? And he was like, shut up.
Yeah, wouldn't that like
hilarious?
I feel like that'd throw us off course, right? When all those gases thrust us away from our current trajectory. If there was a hole.
All of the gas would leave violently through that hole. Yeah.
It would be flying around like a balloon.
Yeah, it's like a balloon with a hole in it, yeah.
We wouldn't be seeing the stars return to their exact location every year, put it that way.
Yeah, that shit don't add up. That shit doesn't add up with their model at all. They try to say that the fucking North Star changed. That's so stupid. And then there's all the structures that align with stars, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, they like to do that thing where you have to like exist. You have to live for like 220 years to see a change. It's always beyond the human lifespan. It's moving, but we won't see it for 400 years. So yeah.
Right. It's like, do you want me to? It's like maybe it's just the whole entire universe is moving in lockstep with our galaxy.
What's interesting is they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones, which was pretty much confirmation that the North Star isn't drifting. But also, there's a lot of old, what we call churches now or mosques now. Who knows what they were when they were originally built? But they have these sort of alignments and there's a certain position where the sun rays will come into the temples at a certain time, and they're still aligned. Everything is still aligned as it was, as up to I mean, I question the calendar, but supposedly 1,000 years ago, up to 2,000 years ago, some of these buildings could be claimed to have been from the Greeks that have these alignments and these sort of geometric structures that align this when the stars align and the sun is at a certain position at a certain time of year. You get the ray in the exact same position. This is still aligned, so we don't have any direct evidence of anything changing.
Yeah, the old building stuff is pretty insane to me. It's wild. I do agree with the.
We take it back to the topic, man. I think we got a couple of people here that are new.
Sweet.
This is the topic, Elbow. What are you talking about?
Oh, cities and stuff.
We're talking about the alignment of the stars.
What does the stars have to do with
either contribute or butt out, dude? Serious. And you over fences. This is the topic. What's your problem? We don't just talk about 3 very specific topics related to flat Earth. We can talk about quite a lot to do with
but y'all babbling about with yourselves, man. With people here that are new, you probably want to say what's up, man.
We're talking about the alignments haven't changed. What's your problem?
Awesome, but there's other people here that are new that just came in. I'm trying to see.
Awesome. This guy's pretty new as well. Crips isn't a regular here. So if you want to do a sweep of the room, you can, but we are on topic. You don't need to pretend we're not.
Whatever, Roots.
All right. Is that clear?
Yeah,
and you fences. Wind your necks in. So go ahead then, Elbow. You take over.
Hey, Rian, what's up, man? See a couple of people here that are new. I got any evidence for the globe?
There's old stock and Yanni.
What's up, old stock?
Cain's here.
So were you guys able to figure out why the experiment does prove that the Earth is a globe?
Experiments.
One more time.
Yeah, we're talking about the experiment that Simon Dan just released the results of.
He said Simon Dan made an experiment.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to the side chat once again. Keep flipping.
Really? You really want to go through this with Cain again? You prefer to do this?
No,
really?
I can very simply just tell you why it shows that the Earth is a globe and not flat. Because you haven't let me do that.
Cain, you've had plenty of airtime. You've had plenty.
No, you quite literally just asked me like red herring questions instead of actually like letting me explain why it proves what it does.
Well, hold on, is this an experiment or just circular reasoning?
It's an experiment. I'll tell you why it cannot be circular reasoning if you want.
Well, why don't you just tell us how it's an experiment?
It's
why are you laughing?
They collected data over different data points and then plotted the data like that.
No. To be an experiment, has to go to the scientific
and then
method.
and then use the data to check which hypothesis is correct.
Stop. To be an experiment, has to go through the scientific method. So let's start from step 1.
Yeah. So step 1 is the hypothesis, right?
No, that's not the step 1.
Jesus Christ. The observation.
It,
Yeah, it's a natural phenomenon observed.
your shouts to Jesus are noted.
Do you think
your natural phenomenon
the natural phenomenon? Wait a second. The natural phenomenon is the stick casting a shadow. Is that okay?
So remember, your natural phenomenon observed. That's supposed to be something happening, right? Now, when that natural phenomenon observed is also listen. That natural phenomenon observed is also your dependent variable. So when you're gonna think about your hypothesis, you got to start with that. So let's go.
Yeah. So the hypothesis number 1 is going to be the Earth is flat.
Okay? You say what? How is that?
Yeah. Hypothesis number 1 is going to be the Earth is flat. Therefore, the shadows cast the sticks cast those shadows in that way because of that. The hypothesis number 2 is going to be the Earth is round. Therefore, yeah.
Is that a natural phenomena?
The sticks casting a shadow. Yes.
No, you said sticking a stick in the ground is a natural phenomenon.
The stick casting a shadow is a natural phenomenon. Yes.
Yeah, but you put the stick there.
Oh, so you think that because I put it there, it's not a natural phenomenon?
A natural phenomenon.
No, yeah, I know that.
Oh, okay. So a tree casting a shadow is that a natural
okay? There phenomenon? You go.
There you go. It's the same fucking thing. Good job. So we're gonna have the natural phenomenon of objects casting shadows. Is that okay?
What's the presumed cause of shadows?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, bro! Are you serious?
Well, that's science, dude. Don't you know what science is?
Okay, let's.
What's the presumed cause?
Like the problem here is that you're misunderstanding what the point is. You get what the point is. Science. We're gonna try to understand why the shadows have take on those lengths.
You said the problem is that you don't understand. You said he did a scientific experiment, so we're going through the steps of the scientific experiments, and then when we're trying to provide the questions that requires to go through the scientific experiments, you want to go to we have to do something else.
Okay, I think this is pretty showing, regardless. So I it's pretty telling, you know. It's like the fact that you're not gonna actually let me. The fact that you're not going to actually let me tell you what the experiment is about even is pretty telling. Like, it sounds like you're coping to death even before I actually tell you the results.
Results. If we got to go through the scientific method to make sure it is a scientific experiment.
Because it's circular reasoning. We know it's going to end up where it's going to end up, dude. It's Simon Dan.
What is it going to end up with? Go ahead.
Lost in outer space mythology. Once again,
it's not what it ends up with.
It doesn't end up with water ball.
No, it doesn't end up with water ball. No, it doesn't end up with water ball. What does it end up with?
Okay, well then I thought you were supposed to be presenting evidence that the Earth is a globe.
The Earth is not a water ball. What are you gonna try?
Well, how would you call?
Do you want to try again?
They call it the blue marble. Do you want to try again?
Do you want to try again?
They call it the blue marble. What would you call it then? If it's
blue marble, yeah, marbles are water balls for sure. So
man, dude, water's blue.
So what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So the
does it upset you?
Wait a second. The point of the experiment is to basically compare the data to the predictions of the flat Earth and the predictions of the globe. What does the data match? Take a wild guess.
Scientific experiment.
Yeah, do you know what data is? Do you know what data is? Do you know what data is? The question is, do you know what data is?
I don't want to mute you, man.
What is data?
Data's information. Anyways.
Okay, so what do you think we're using this data for?
Stop. The point of a scientific experiment is to find out the cause of an effect. Are you not paying attention? Are you not listening?
Yeah, the cause of the effect is going to be the cause of the reason why the length of the shadows vary in a certain way is the shape of the Earth. The shape of the Earth, the data matches the predictions made by assuming that the Earth is a globe, and they do not match the predictions made. No, the assumption is the hypothesis. We're testing the hypothesis. Yes, that is how you test a hypothesis.
No, it's not.
What the fuck? Okay, how do you think you test a hypothesis?
You don't make an assumption.
What do you do when you try to test a hypothesis?
Yeah, you predict what's gonna happen.
Right, exactly. And then if the results match the hypothesis prediction, then you say that the hypothesis has a high chance of being correct. When the data does not match the hypothesis, you say that it's fucking wrong, which is what the prediction of the flat Earth does. It gets it wrong.
It has to be a natural phenomenon, and you got to figure out what is the
natural
cause
phenomenon
of the
is the length of the shadows changing throughout the day. Is that okay?
Say that one more time.
The natural phenomenon is the length of the shadows changing throughout the day. Is that okay?
All right. What is your presumed cause?
The presumed cause is gonna be either the sun or the Earth moving around the sun, like one of them moving.
Well, man, how are you going to?
However, it doesn't matter because it's going to be the relative position of the Earth compared to the Sun. So either way, it's the same thing. So now the difference is going to be. Wait a second. Let me finish. No, let me finish.
Globe evidence. This is stationary versus non-stationary.
No. What I just said is that if it's stationary or non-stationary, it's the same thing. What I'm saying is that the difference is made by the shape of the Earth, right? And now we're gonna
how long are these shadows? How big is this tree?
Huh?
Well, you're kind of all over the place.
So
if you're bringing up Eratosthenes, and now you're saying Eratosthenes is about whether or not
instead of diverting, why don't we go back to the point?
It's not a scientific experiment.
Yeah, it is a scientific experiment. They're just explaining to you how it works. You have no idea.
About what you're
trying so hard to play chess with pigeons.
No, I know, it's just funny, but like, do you know? Like, I just wish that somebody like listening to this live stream will actually understand something about what I'm saying.
What are you talking about? Dude, you were supposed to be talking about Earth's rotundity, and now you're talking about whether or not it's stationary or non-stationary.
I literally just said that whether it's the Earth moving around the sun or the sun moving over the Earth, it doesn't matter.
Hey, Cain, how many pieces are on a chessboard?
Let me count it. It's 32.
Oh, no, dude, too late. Whoever said pigeons and chess, did you hear him? He doesn't know.
I literally how is it too late?
I literally don't know. I literally don't know.
I literally don't know. You don't know. How many pieces are on chessboard? I don't think you actually listened to what I said. Okay, go ahead. How many are there? 32! Good job! It's the answer that I gave you in 1 second.
So who's the pigeon?
Yeah, anyways. So as I was explaining, I don't know if I'm probably gonna get muted soon, but before I get muted,
you're fine.
Before I get muted, I will say that I encourage everyone watching this to go and check the video that Simon Den published, where
the one with Eratosthenes in the thumbnail with Eratosthenes assumed globe Earth. Fundy mute attempt failed. Anyone who sees the thumbnail will see Eratosthenes, and they will know if they do the slightest bit of research into this Eratosthenes narrative, the Eratosthenes assumed sphere, just like you are.
Yeah, he said that in his first statement.
Yeah, those are your hypotheses.
You told us how you were going to show us how it wasn't. You said you were going to show us how it wasn't circular reasoning. Now, pigeon, you did the opposite.
Yeah, okay, I can explain to you why it's not. Do you want me to?
That's what you said you were going to do.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. I can do that. I'll do it. So if it was circular reasoning, what we would expect is that we would expect to have the data first, right? We would expect to have the data from the experiment, and then wait a second.
Dude,
what we have first in this case, it's the
Dude, hold on. You said that you hope that people listening hear whatever it is you think that you want them to hear. What is that you think that you've made clear for them to hear? Please.
That this experiment proves beyond any shadow of a doubt that the Earth is a globe and not flat.
Dude, you've yet to even substantiate this thing as being an experiment.
You just missed the point. I told you why it's an experiment and how.
Okay, everyone's listening.
I told you the steps of the experiment. I told you the natural phenomenon that's being observed. I told you what the natural phenomenon that's being observed is. I told you what the hypotheses are. I told you what the data matches. Now I don't. I have seen the video. I don't have like a screenshot of the results, but you can see it for yourself. It's in there.
And how does the data not match flat Earth?
Because basically, from a flat Earth, you would expect a non-linear function, like showing on the graph, and what you see is a linear function, which is what you expect from the globe Earth. Simon then actually explains it very clearly in his video.
Yeah, the one with the Eratosthenes thumbnail. That one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Let me understand something. Like, if you saw a video with a clown on the thumbnail, would you assume that like the guy speaking is a clown or something like that? Like, what is this?
Hold on.
Like the video with Eratosthenes on the thumbnail. What does that have to do?
Well, no, I just bring that up because Eratosthenes assumed ball. Did you just say thumbnail?
Yeah, thumbnail.
Oh, I thought you said thumbnail. Okay, close call.
Yeah, English is not my first language. I could mess up a few pronunciations here and there.
That TH one's tricky, huh?
That's pretty tricky, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think I talked enough.
It's good to have a Simon Dan disciple in here.
Yeah, no, Simon Dan is pretty neat. Especially this last thing that he did.
He's pretty
fucking cool. Neat. He's pretty cool. He does a lot of interesting stuff.
No.
Okay, what do you do that Simon Dan doesn't do it as bad? And like, what makes you better than Simon Dan? He's a what?
He's a charlatan, dude.
He's a charlatan, really? What? Why?
Charlatan.
A charlatan, yeah. Why?
Yeah. Because he has disciples like you chanting his circular reasoning bullshit with Eratosthenes in the thumbnail, who famously assumed Earth was a ball.
So did you watch the video?
Dude, you just posted it.
Yeah, okay, so you didn't watch the video, and you're saying that what he says in the video is bullshit.
Well, what I said was he's a charlatan.
He's a charlatan, right? Like he spreads misinformation. So what misinformation does he spread?
Well, he's trying to keep everyone in this ball ideology.
Okay, so because he disagrees with you and actually uses science to prove you wrong, then he's a charlatan? Is that what you're saying?
Pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience. Okay, so what's pseudoscience? What distinguishes pseudoscience from real science?
Well, science that isn't dictated by the scientific method.
Science that isn't dictated by the scientific method. Yeah. So would you go ahead and tell me what about his experiment is not scientific?
What's circular reasoning?
I just explained to you why it's not circular reasoning.
Okay, let me ask you. Does Eratosthenes, in the Eratosthenes narrative, does that include the assumption that Earth is a ball?
Yeah, because it's a hypothesis.
Okay. Yeah, dude, I don't need you following up. Just say yes, and that's the end of it.
Well, see, the thing is, when it comes to Eratosthenes, give me 1 second. Yeah, I'll explain to you why Eratosthenes is circular reasoning if you try to use it to prove a sphere, but while it's not in the case of Simon Dan. Would you like that?
Dude.
Okay. So the difference between Simon Dan and Eratosthenes' experiment is that they're using the same method, but they're starting from completely different assumptions.
Hold on, dude.
Right? What Eratosthenes is doing is trying to measure the radius of the Earth.
Dude, Cain, now you're calling Eratosthenes' stunt an experiment when you just agreed that he assumed that Earth is a ball in the first place. That's definitionally circular reasoning. This is what the problem is. You think you label things with science, an experiment, then voila.
Yeah, because you missed the point of what Eratosthenes was trying to do, right? What Eratosthenes was trying to do, give me 1 second to speak. What Eratosthenes was trying to do was...
He was trying to complete the circularity of his reasoning, and he succeeded. Not an experiment.
No, he was trying to measure the radius of the Earth that you already assumed to be a sphere.
Assuming that the Earth was a ball.
When it comes to Simon, then he's not trying to measure the radius. He does it at the end because
is he assuming the Earth is a ball?
That is not. No, that is one of his hypotheses.
That's a lie. You just say he did.
No, because it's a hypothesis. Eratosthenes did it. Yes, Eratosthenes did assume that the Earth was a sphere.
And you did.
Eratosthenes did, but Simon Dan didn't.
Are you changing your mind now? Because you just told me a few minutes ago that, yes, you got to start with the assumption that the Earth is a ball.
Because it's one of the hypotheses. We're testing hypotheses. That's how it works. We start with one assumption and the other. We're starting with the assumption that the Earth is flat first, and then we start with the assumption that the Earth is a globe. We do both assumptions, and we test the hypotheses. And one of them...
This guy's the ultimate fundy muter. Cain. When you brought up the shadows, you started talking about whether or not the Earth was stationary. Is the sun moving? Is the Earth moving? It had nothing to do with Earth being a ball.
Yeah, because it was, and I explained.
Hey, dude,
1 second.
That was you, right?
Yeah, I explained to you that it doesn't matter whether it's the Earth moving or the sun moving, because the only thing that matters is the relative position, right?
But you were talking about the length of shadows changing through the day, and how that's an indicator of whether or not the sun is moving or the Earth is moving. It has nothing to do with ball Earth.
That's not what I said. What I said is that the reason they changed their... No, I said that the reason they changed their length is because they're moving relative to each other, but the length, the way that their length changes. Give me 1 second. The way that their length changes depends on whether the Earth is a globe or not.
Okay, I got a quick question. Mind if I get in here and ask?
Sure.
Yeah, does their relative position matter for making that determination?
No, it doesn't.
All right, why not?
Or better, yes, it does.
I thought so.
The relative position matters because, the reason why the shadow's length changes is because the Earth moves relative to the sun. But that's not the point. What we're trying to prove in this, with this experiment, is whether the Earth is a globe or if it's flat. Now we're testing hypotheses. The hypothesis of the flat Earth gives wrong results, gives wrong predictions, while that of the globe Earth does gives good approximations.
Okay. Now hold on. So I agree that relative position matters, and if we're trying to determine the shape of the Earth, can I ask you, how did they determine their position? How they determine their relative position in the first place?
They don't do it. It's irrelevant to the experiment.
No, you just said relative positions are relevant. I agree for the purpose you just described. What I'm showing you and revealing to you is the same circular reasoning that Eratosthenes made, because you can't claim the relative positions matter and then say that they prove that Earth is a globe when in the first place they used a spherical coordinate system to determine their relative positions.
So confirmation bias, is it not?
It's exactly a confirmation bias.
Thing is, once again,
so you're cooked again.
Wait.
I'm going to sit back and let you talk.
Okay, so what we agreed on is that the reason why the length of the shadows changes is because of the relative position between the Earth and the Sun. Now, that doesn't matter to this experiment, because what we're trying to understand is why they change with in that specific way. Why does the length of the shadow change in a linear fashion when we would expect it to change in a nonlinear fashion when it comes to the flat Earth? Now, the thing is, what the globe predicts, though, is exactly that it will change in a linear fashion. So, what is more likely? Is it more likely that it's a globe, which gets the prediction correctly, or is it more likely that it's flat, which gets the prediction wrong?
Which is prediction of the flat Earth? Why is not linear?
Because you can do the experiment yourself. Just put like for example, like a pan.
With what flat earth you are comparing, man?
I'm comparing it with any flat surface, right? You can
with any flat surface. Okay, let's do it like this. There is in Bolivia, Salta Flat Lake. It's 40,000 miles squared flat.
That is not flat. That is level, which is different.
Level
you can literally level is not flat. We're not going to have this conversation. We're not going to have this conversation.
No.
You know what's flat? You know what's flat?
Man, level is flat. The one thing flat maybe is not leveled. That you can call it. Something flat you cannot call leveled, but everything leveled it's flat. Do you know?
So if the Earth is a globe, then a really long flat table is not going to be level for the entire time.
Is it okay? Is it level? Is it level surface curved?
Yes.
Oh wow!
On the Earth, it is gonna be.
And now we need to discuss, to debate, to have honest reasoning. We need to have honest point. We need to have honest reasoning, like with that level it's curved. If level is curved and curved is curved, what is flat?
We don't need to have this conversation.
If level is curved, I'm asking you a simple question. You said that level is curved and curved is curved. That means curved is curved and level is curved. What is flat?
It can't. See, the thing is, it's not like flat is
it's not. I know when you say that that yellow is blue, it's very difficult to speak. You know, it's very difficult. You're saying, man, that level is curved. You're saying that yellow is blue.
Back to the original topic. You're making me lose the plot.
Can you ask any human being is level is curved? That will tell you no.
It's really hard to have a conversation when you try to move
with the people who think that level is curved. Is it easy to speak with the people who think that level is curved?
That's because you keep interrupting him, Cain. That's why it's hard to have a conversation. There's usually a back and forth, but when you keep interrupting him in the middle of his conversation or what he's trying to say, then yeah, you're gonna have not a good time.
Level is curved, it's absurd, and everybody knows that.
I think I have the right to interrupt him when he's changing the topic.
You ask him
Cain, Cain, you're a fundy muter. You don't stop talking. You yap. You can't even remember what you say.
Yeah, because somebody is trying to change the topic. I want to stay on the topic. Dude. Can we stay on the topic?
Well, dude, you're the one that started tap dancing.
You're on the topic. You know, Eratosthenes shows that the shadows matching. Now we need to see if is that matching with the surface of the Earth.
Didn't show any of that.
But you said that
Eratosthenes used the shadows to calculate the radius of the Earth, which is not what Simon Dan did.
You said that Simon Dan did that with the shadows.
No.
That means... Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Yes. Sure.
Okay, that means Simon Dan did with the shadows. Okay, he did with the shadows and shadow length showing that there is sea level curving. I want to see sea levels curving and everything will be fine. Then Simon Dan will be right. Do you agree with me?
Sure.
If that what he made, that what shadow showing that surface is curving. Now we need to check if surface is curving, and Simon then will be right if is that happening. Do you understand me?
Sure.
If shadow showing that surface is curving, then surface will curve. Are you agree with me?
Say that again. If the
shadows and that experiment showing that there is sphericity, there cannot be flat, then surface will curve in reality. There is no way to be flat.
Well, yes. The point is that they're gonna curve so slightly that you're barely gonna see it.
So slightly how?
The thing is, if you have...
Is that so slightly depend of the size of the Earth, or doesn't depend of the size of the Earth?
It does depend on the size of the Earth, but that only works, for example, like in bodies of water. Can you let me finish my response? Okay, so I was gonna say that only applies, for example, on bodies of water that are completely level for the entire time. Like you could do that on, like you could make that claim that shadows will curve, for example, like in the salt flats in Bolivia, right? That does make sense. But like you're not going to be able to make that argument everywhere. Like it's really stupid to say that like a shadow cast on a flat surface is going to curve or something. Like that's really dumb.
How we will find out if a surface is curving? We only need to believe in that shadow story, or we need to check also the surface.
We need to check the surface, yes, but like the point is that
I checked the surface.
Yeah, we just did it now, like in the experiment.
Did you check the surface? I checked it.
Yes, I was part of the experiment. I was one of the data points.
Okay, can you tell me the where you was? What was the height, distance, and drop over distance?
It's shown in the Simon Den video. You can go ahead and watch it. He put together the data.
We spoke about Simon Den. He showed that means that you know where is the location, you know what is the distance, and you know what is drop over the distance because you watched that video. Is that correct? Because he convinced you that Earth is a globe. That means now you need to tell me that knowledge, what he has, all this data that I can say, okay, this is real. Okay, can you tell me? Height, distance, and drop.
No, I can't. I can tell you. It's in the results of the video. I don't.
You forget it.
Don't memorize results like that.
You said it's in video. That means you forget it. Can you tell me without that I need to watch video?
What do you mean? No, I don't memorize results.
You told me that he measured it. There is a drop over distance. There is a location. I need to just watch video.
No, that's not what he did. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I know you told us that he did something with the shadows, and I asked you. Okay,
he did calculate the drop over distance. Yes, but it's at the end of the video, and like he does show the calculations for it.
That means that drop over distance. Anyone who now go to the beach will be shown because I will go there. I will make.
Yes, you already are. The point is that it's so small that you don't see it. It's like saying,
yeah.
Wait, give me 1 second. I'll give you an example. Can you see the germs on your arm?
No.
You know that you have germs on your arm right now, right? Can you see?
Man, we are not speaking about germs. We are speaking about the.
Can you see the germs on your arm? Because that is like the comparison. That is like the difference.
Speak about germs. We are speaking about the surface.
You understand that? No, that is the difference in size.
No, man,
you expect to be able to see germs.
You need to stop to speak about germs. We are speaking about the surface.
You expect to be able to see germs with your naked eye. That's basically what you're trying to say.
I will tell you something. Very easy. You said we are small. Okay, I will give you that. Earth is big. That's correct. Now, I will put you ant, small little insect, it's near to me. That ant cannot see even 2 or 5 centimeters. Do you understand that? But the radius of the Earth will be the same. That means observer height 1 foot, that thing will be the same. That radius 3,959 miles.
Will not be able to see the drop over distance with its naked eye.
I will tell you. Can I finish my sentence? Only to finish my sentence.
Sure.
It will be laughable. Listen, you have an ant, you have me, and you have giant. It's the same size of the Earth. It's a 1.22 observer height in feet. Doesn't change anything. Do you understand? Only thing, ant cannot do that, but people have optics and can zoom it the distance. 10 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles. You cannot have 10 miles of flatness on the sphere with the radius of 3,959 miles. You cannot have 5 miles of flatness. You cannot have 3 miles of flatness with the 30 centimeters height. You can have only 1.2 miles of the flatness. That's how big
if you your argument.
That's how you are small, on the Earth. That with your height,
argument is. My argument is this. My argument is we're gonna be able to see the curve.
My argument is this: if in this world exists geometry, and if I know what is the sphere, there will be drop over distance like every sphere in the world.
You just cannot see it with your naked eye.
No, there is not. You can measure it. Did you do it?
Yes, you can measure it, and we did it.
Did you do it?
And it's in the video.
Did you do it? Did you do it?
Yes, I was part of the data point.
Tell me the location. Tell me the location, height, distance, and drop. If you did it.
I told you we did it in the with all the data points. It's not just my data point that we use. We used
data point of what? Of the things
data
on the
points
TV,
of what?
of data point in reality. Let's say
data
this
point
is London.
Of the TV. What the fuck?
Man, if you want to measure the Earth, where you will measure Earth? In front of computer or outside?
Yeah, that's why outside. That's why we use shadows for it.
Okay, that outside. Can you tell me the location where Earth is curving in a distance? Any location. Tell me the location. Tell me the country. Tell me the name of the town.
Everywhere. It's curving everywhere. It's just very slight. You can see it with your naked eye. That's all.
Slight, how slight? How slight?
How slight?
Yeah.
Slight enough that you can see it with your naked eye, but like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah,
like,
how slight? Can you tell me how slight? You believe in a
Sasha, I have like my patience has a limit, and you definitely.
Hold on. This is the guy. This is funny. This is really funny. Well, yeah,
no,
you've already proven that you're very impatient.
The guy that thinks that counting takes literally 0 seconds.
No, dude.
I'm gonna.
What was he just saying, Sasha? Is he gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was saying that this is the guy who's saying level is curved, but he doesn't want to talk about how he can tell that level's curved or curved is level. I'm glad he left.
Yeah, it was clear he wasn't listening to you, Sacha. He wasn't listening to a single word.
Nah, he just wanted to spot religion. Just call it being a disciple. A Simon died disciple.
Man, I kind of wanted to ask that guy a question. Kind of mad he left.
He'll be back. Yeah, isn't it funny that he only told us that he was part of this whole thing 30 minutes into it getting dragged through the mud? I don't know. He'll be back.
He said that he had a data point. He was one of the data points.
Yeah, he just popped that in there 30 minutes after he goes, here's something I saw that Simon Dan did. Next thing you know, I was involved. I was involved.
We kept saying you can't see the curve with your naked eye. I want to ask, okay, well, what can you see the curve with? To say that is implying we can see the curve another way. Like, so with optics, you can see the curve. Like, how are we seeing the curve? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. He says level is curved. So yeah, how can he tell that? Then he tells us he can't tell the difference between level and curve. So.
What's up, Claire?
Hey, I was just thinking, like, maybe the Earth is, like, round, right?
Round like a quarter or round like a ball?
It could be like a ball. I'm just thinking it could be a ball, like they say it is, right?
I mean, it can be if there's a measurement of it. I haven't seen any measurements of the roundness of the ball. Have you?
Measurement, how round it is?
Yeah, usually when you're measuring a ball, you can actually measure if there's this drop over the distance.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just wondering I'm just wondering,
Claire,
like,
Claire.
yeah.
Well, the nature of water in reality kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole idea that the Earth is a ball.
100%.
No, because I'm like, I don't know. Oh no, oh my god, I get it.
Okay,
now.
so if you put water in a container, what do you have at the top? What's at the surface? No, it clicked in. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess you have water. No. You would have water at the top, right? If you filled it to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you know about water? Have you ever heard the phrase "seeks its level"?
No, not really.
Well, it sort of personifies water, but have you ever noticed that when you fill a vessel up with water, the water at the top of the vessel is
like if you mean at the very top, it can like not spill over unless it's like you pour more.
Yeah.
It's not like
when it spills over, what does it do on the ground?
Oh, I don't leak, drip. I don't know.
Leaks, yeah, spreads out. Water seeks level. That's what's going on in reality. That whole that concept was never. Apparently, they've erased it from the vernacular. If you've never heard it, but that's the reality of water. But they tell us we're on a ball covered at its 70% of its surface is water. Those two things are incongruent. They can't coexist.
Maybe it just happens at a smaller scale.
What? Maybe what happens at a smaller scale?
Like the little I don't know how water acts. Sorry, I'm kind of high.
Oh, let's start with a cup.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with a cup. Does the water stay level in a cup?
Okay, what?
Does the water stay level in a cup?
Can we change it to a jar?
Yeah, let's go to a jar. Let's stay level.
And man be involved.
Say it again?
Your moonshine jar, yeah, sure.
Does it stay level?
Okay, so the man pours the glass in the jar. I mean, no, the water in the jar and reaches the top, right?
In the bucket.
Does the water stay level?
I mean, probably, right?
Yeah, let's go to a pool.
It flattens out.
All right, let's go to lake.
Yeah. Wait,
What about
and
an
I'm
ocean?
confused. Wait, what? So what's the alternative? Like, what's the alternative to it being round?
It's level. It's planar. It's flat.
So the Earth is flat, but then what's gravity? And like, can you fall off the edge and stuff? I don't know. What happens if you do?
What edge and what is gravity? What do you think gravity is?
So the Earth is moving up at a constant rate, right?
What?
No. What evidence do you have of that? Oh, you think this is the Flat Earth Society?
Oh, I actually don't know.
Well, that's what you're talking about. That's one of their talking points.
And I heard there's infighting within this community.
There's infighting in all of humanity. I watch ants infight.
Okay. I as someone who actually knows something about ants.
Usually, Michael Jordan had fist fights with his teammates.
Okay, but as someone who actually knows something about ants, like the ant it was fighting with must have been from another colony because they do not attack their own people. But I get what you mean. Like they're the same color. They look exactly the same, but they're hurting each other because they have different roots.
No, they both walked away. I don't know.
Because they're both
racist. Nirvana is not for this world. Have you ever heard of that one?
Oh my god, I'm wearing a Nirvana shirt right now.
Yeah. You're the one who likes all their pretty songs and you like to sing along, but you know not what they mean.
No, I actually haven't.
Do you know what is the reason these people think that Earth is flat, or you don't know?
No, I actually have a listen to Nirvana. I like other artists, so like 100x. 100x is good. I understand their songs.
I'm asking you, do you know why these people calling themselves flat earthers? What is the reason?
Because they think the Earth is flat, I guess. And the thing is, I have no proof. I have no proof before me that the Earth is round. So I'm guessing it must be some other shape, probably flat. But I don't know exactly how that works. Like logically, like what else is wrong? Then like is the universe what we think it is, or what are the stars?
What are the stars?
You know we don't believe in outer space, right?
The whole universe mythology story is based on the idea that the Earth is a ball, though. So without that, the whole universe story, what else is wrong? A lot.
Okay. So what are the stars? Are they like?
What they tell you the stars are?
They say it's like planets or something.
How do they know that? Stars?
You're right. They haven't been there. They haven't been there.
They tell you that stars. They tell you that stars are suns and dwarf lights or something, whatever. Dwarf stars and whatever. But they don't tell you that they're planets.
Claire, do you know that some people realize there is surface not curving, you know, the water, whatever, speaking with you. And now you are asking that people who realize that water is not curving what stars are.
That's fine, but let's see what he realizes. Let's make him realize that they don't even know what the hell they are.
If you're gonna get an answer that you don't like, then we're gonna hop to another topic. We're gonna keep doing that.
It's all right. Let's just follow him for a little bit.
What?
So
yeah, whatever
again,
say,
how do they know what the stars are?
I mean, I feel like you're trying to like break down my argument. I'm like a clean slate as far as you're concerned. I'm so high, I'm a clean slate. You could just tell me what you believe. I'll probably believe it too.
That's insincere.
Maybe you're looking for some kind of debate, but no, I'm with you 100%. I am willing to believe whatever you say.
We're not here for making you believe anything. I'm just trying to make you realize.
You don't sound high. You sound hypnotized.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make you realize what information they gave you to tell you that that's what it is.
I guess I just saw cartoons and the Earth is flat in cartoons.
I guess.
Wait, no, I meant the Earth is round in cartoons when they do like an Earth shot, right? And on NASA photos online and stock images.
Yeah, and lens effects. But yeah, that thing you said about a disc going upward, that website does have a cartoon of a disc Earth.
Oh,
so yeah,
cool.
You're kind of asking for all the questions that have been wondered on forever. I mean, they even wrote the song "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
Mm-hmm. You know, I guess I'm just asking, what exactly do you believe in? Like, what are you not sure about?
You have to fight for your right to party. You know, just acknowledging the nature of water in reality doesn't require belief or wishful thinking. It just is what it is.
Observations. Yeah. That's all it is.
See, I mean, because I read the website and I thought it was like the Earth was like the platter on a turntable, and
that's laid out there for you to poison the well of this whole idea that Earth is flat, to give an absurd.
Yeah, I was believing that, like the whole like it's on top of a turtle thing.
No, the turtle's moving upward as well.
Nah, it's the elephants pushing up.
We're going to ask for your troll. We're going to ask for your troll to be a tad more original, if that's where you're going to go.
What?
Isn't he describing Stephen King's universe where all the worlds are connected on the back of a giant sea turtle? Something like that? I think he's describing that.
Well, yeah, I just meant like it's moving upwards, right? I thought it was.
I thought
this reminds me more of Stephen King's Misery.
Elephants.
But wouldn't that assume that the laws of space that they tell us, like that's how it works? So like, sorry, oh my god, I'm stuttering. It's like we don't even know if space is what they tell us, right? So how do we know that an object with like there's no friction in space? How do we know that there's no air in space? We don't know that either. So I'm just saying, I get what you mean with like how it doesn't really make a ton of sense. That version of Flat Earth has you. That I'm saying that version of Flat Earth, for it to work, you have to believe some of the round Earth's like science.
What?
Yeah, there you go. It's just a weird gatekeeping, poisoning the well, trying to muddy the water, turning it into an absurdity. Yeah, but yes, it still is in the outer space. Isn't that what? That's funny. Yeah, no ball, no space dream.
So, what shape do you think it is? Like, if it's flat, Earth shaped.
Yep, Earth shaped.
You think it's circular? Still, or
It's a terrarium. You gotta know. You don't gotta know the shape of the terrarium unless you go exploring.
Can you tell me the shape of a rock or a tree?
Wait, so you don't have anything
Let
figured
him
out?
answer that. What's the shape of a rock? Go ahead.
A rock?
Yeah, be very
It's got to
specific.
be like. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I get your point.
What's the shape of the lake?
No, I know. I'm saying I get the point. Like,
yeah, this isn't omniscience 24/7. That might be a different channel. I don't know. They're probably gambling
I'm just
in
wondering
there.
for like. Are you like gatekeeping information? I just want to know what you guys believe.
No, we're talking about water. We're not talking about belief systems. You seem to not want the simplicity of the nature of water doesn't sink in for some reason, do you?
It's the lack of critical thinking.
No, the water thing is the best thing, the best argument.
Okay, well, there you go.
Like, but is that like all?
Why is it the best? Why do you find it to be the best?
No, it's just the first. It's like actual evidence. It's like an actual.
First or the best?
No, it's just a little. I'm just saying it's a little frustrating.
So that destroys the idea that we're on a ball covered in water.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying, like, is that where it starts? Do you build off that?
The thing is, the question, you keep going into beliefs. And like, what do you believe? This is the problem. We try to stay away from beliefs because beliefs is just acceptance without evidence, and we try to go for what we could know.
Okay,
right?
okay. So where does the science lead us to think? I guess or believe. No, you only use that word, but what does the science say?
The pseudoscience has you in a globe delusion. But this is a question of geometry. They have everyone's chanting science when all it is pseudoscience. It's a story. Wishful thinking on steroids.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. But you do follow science, like, or at least you believe in the
100%.
scientific method. You just don't think they're using it right.
If it's actually science, we'll definitely follow it. Go through the scientific method for sure. 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense because I think it's a good method.
How you guys doing?
Welcome back,
I'm just slightly frustrated because like are you like trying to customize my own little version of like Flat Earth or ask what I believe or like what I'm trying? I'm just a little confused. Like I don't know what the I don't
You're confused is obvious. The thing is that I think you need to start asking the more fundamental critical lying questions. So when you look at Earth and you take one of the longest spaces that you can measure, then we reference water for a reason. And you need to critically think about why we use water as a reference point. If you measure something, well, what is the base level of measurement that you take? What kind of level did you take into account when any building or anything gets built? It has a name. Here, I'll spoil it for you. It's called sea level.
Oh my god, sorry. Yeah.
What does water tend to do? Levels out.
Fuck, dude.
Until you can show me or demonstrate to me in practicum that there is a curve to the water at a certain distance, then, I'm still seeing flat.
But don't you see ships literally first the sail come up?
No, it's refraction. There's a lot of factors that come into play. Like you can't see straight for a perfect from A to B perfectly without any interference in between. So what you're seeing is the refracting of light. So it's bending. That's why you see.
Yeah, hold on. You can see that. Hold on. That can be demonstrated on a flat surface as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cover that in Drawing 101. Have you ever taken the art class? Yeah, enroll in a Drawing 101 course. That'll clear up your confusion.
I mean, Fox, you're Dutch. There's a lot of flat lands here. You can just look out the window and pretty damn sure you won't see a curve. I don't.
Yeah, because have you ever been in an airplane and actually looked out of the airplane?
Yeah.
You can literally see the curvature of the Earth in an airplane.
Whoa. Are you sure that's literal? Because that would be a tiny Earth.
But you can already see the curvature. I don't understand how
okay.
it's
Is it possible that that's created by the curved window? Is it possible you're confusing your peripheral vision for curvature of Earth? Because if that were the curvature of the Earth, you were seeing that significant of a curve over a city. Well, that city, if you complete the circle of that curve, would be covering an enormous amount of this ball. So you would be on a tiny Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, unless his flight's taking like the Apollo mission flight.
It's like the episode of Rick and Morty with Tiny Earth.
Yeah, I don't know. He just said, "Have you ever been on a plane?" I think that was the 1 millionth person who said that in there. Is it like a door prize? Yeah. Hey, ever been on a plane? You can literally see it. You guys overused the word literally.
How high was this plane, man? What was the height of it that it flew? And you see the curve.
Better yet, what type of windows were on those planes? I'm curious to those.
I don't go that detail. I just want to see the height. What was the height, do you think, Papa Fox?
Probably like 10 kilometers or something.
About 35,000 feet.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, I actually see. Yeah, you need to be at 20 kilometers to see it.
According to Neil deGrasse Tyson, you can't even see it from 135,000 feet. And we go to a mathematician called Paul Larson. So it's a mathematician called Paul Larson, which he's the director of a planetarium in New York, which NASA actually selected him to be one of the guys that went to Mars whenever they were doing the Mars supposed mission. He says you wouldn't even be able to see it from the height of the ISS because at 225 miles, that's you only see 3% of the Earth. So I don't know how you can see from a plane.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize. My phone just kind of died. I'm back.
You good, man? I was talking to Fox, talking about he could see it from a plane,
but why would it on a flat Earth? You say that the you can't see the curvature, let's say, of the ship, like right? The first example I use, that you first see the sail and then you see the rest of the ship, right? Wouldn't it be on a flat Earth that the entire ship would just appear smaller but will stay fully visible and just shrinking uniformly?
No, that's why I asked you if you didn't answer me. Have you ever done a Drawing 101 course when they do perspective drawings?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, yeah, that's like I said, that same phenomenon has been recreated on flat surfaces. I mean, if you're like you're in a gymnasium and you're standing there watching a basketball game and you are on one end of the court and you lay down and put your head on the floor and look down the court, you're not going to be able to see what logo the shoes are.
I think we were talking about sea level. So I guess I'm still trying to understand what this whole thing's about. When I joined here, I thought it was a joke, or I thought it was people waiting for flat earthers to join and then like boom roast them, you know.
While you were gone, somebody else asked the question, so we're segueing into that.
Oh heck yeah!
Apparently, you can look out of a plane and see the curve of the Earth.
Yeah, I already said like that's not possible. Actually, I checked it up. It's not possible.
No, and you were the 1 millionth person to say look out the window, but I think you were the first person to say, "Oh, I was wrong about that."
Yeah.
So good on you.
Yeah,
yeah, but still, the ship thing, that's not bad though. But seeing the top of a ship appear first over the horizon is a strong indication of the Earth's curvature, though.
No, that's just a perspective issue.
How is it a perspective issue, though?
Well, like I explained, if you were on a basketball court watching a basketball game, and they were down at the other end of the court, and you were on the far end, and you put your head down on the court and look down there, you wouldn't be able. There would be bottom up obstruction on a flat surface. Parts of their shoes would be covered. That's just what perspective is. That's the way vision works.
No, how would I not be able to see? I don't understand.
That's just the way it is. Your angle to seeing it would be too little to be able to see it. You would see if they were standing right next to you, you'd have no problem seeing their shoes.
No, but on the other side of the court, I don't see how like the flat.
Well, that's the way perspective works.
No, but I just don't see how what you say would even happen. Like you would still be able to see the shoes and everything.
Well, go do it.
No, okay, literally, okay. So over that distance, there's so many waves blocking different parts of the ship that it's going to block every bottom part of the ship to where only the part that's completely not obstructed by waves you'd be able to see, right? So it would appear to be like rising, but you're just seeing more of it because there's less waves because it's getting closer. Right?
Oh yeah, there's waves as well.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're in the ocean next to a boat, 50 yards away, and it's rocky seas, it'll disappear from you as you go up and down.
Not just that though, it's like at that distance, there's guaranteed to be a wave or like a raised part of water moving across at every possible area, so you wouldn't even be able to see the bottom because they'd be all overlapping and shit. So it's really good evidence of curved Earth, yeah.
Yeah, here's another observation you can make. It's sort of in line with it. If you go out and watch at dusk, and you watch if you're in a place where there's fishing boats or boats that are out there, I've watched boat disappear, and then 20 minutes later, when it gets dark enough, there's the boat again. You see its light, and not only can you see that boat, now that the other boats have turned their lights on, you can see boats with a red light and a green light far beyond the boat that you thought had gone over the curve of the Earth. And that's something you can go out and look for.
It's just view distance. Or render distance, right? Or fog. Wouldn't it be fog, right? Because the light would shine through the fog. Easier.
What I'm just saying was in daylight, the boat vanished. Yeah, it's I don't know. People think if a boat disappears, even though he's denying, he's saying "nuh-uh" to the whole basketball court, head on the basketball court. There's the gifts that show the coins moving across the table and the candles and all these things. But yeah, just because something disappears doesn't automatically, you said it's strong indication or whatever you labeled it as. Yeah, no, these things can be recreated at small distances. Just because something disappears doesn't mean it went over the curve. Besides, if it's going over the curve, it would have to disappear at a specific distance. And you can see boats way beyond the 39, 59 mile limitations.
They did a measurement over the IJsselmeer. Since you're Dutch, that's a reference point. You should look that up. Turns out to be flat. Put some more on the side for you.